Boom! Hey, yo, what up, gang? What's going on? Welcome to the True Trading Group live stream. My name is Michael Edward. I've been trading and investing professionally, folks, for 15 years. Started my career working at a fund back in New York City in 2007, my first job out of college. Then the Great Recession happened and the financial crisis and the stock market crashed. But during that time, not only did I survive, but thrived, receiving one of the firm's Trader of the Year awards. 15 years later now, head trader at True Trading Group, one of the fastest growing, highest rated online premium educational stock market platforms that's available to the retail trader today. Since 2016, myself and my team of 8 other professional trading moderators have helped thousands of people from all walks of life, from all around the world, achieve their financial goals. If you guys are ready to learn, trade, and profit for real, you've come to the right place. Take a moment, smash that like button, and hit the subscribe channel. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you guys turn on your notifications. Make sure you never miss out on any of these live streams. Folks, today's live stream is going to go down as follows. We've got to talk about inflation. CPI data came out today. What does it mean? How bad was it? Is it starting to peak? Is it beginning to cool off? I heard some people talk about that today. Or is that really just wishful thinking? We're going to talk about it here today in this live stream. To help me go through that conversation and have that discussion, none other than my friend, the birthday boy, Mr. Matt Kohrs himself, is going to join me on this live stream to help go over and answer all of your questions regarding inflation. We're going to do about 15, 20-minute Q&A first, give some time for people to log on, give some time for people to join us on these live streams. Then we're going to dive in, like I said, into everything. We're talking inflation. We're talking about the overall markets. Where do we go from here? All right, folks. Now, there's no such thing as a stupid question. There's no such thing as a silly question. Asking questions is how you learn. So do not be shy. Do not be embarrassed. Begin typing your questions in chat right now, and let's go ahead and begin that Q&A. All right. Where's Matt? All right, folks. Well, while we're waiting, I'll take a couple of questions from people. So you guys go ahead. Don't be shy. Do not be embarrassed. Type your questions in chat. Remember, guys, if you have a question, okay, if you have a question about something, I guarantee you there's somebody else on this live stream that has the same question. So let's dive right into it. Don't be shy, folks. Hey, Matt.
Oh, hey.
Hey, buddy.
Oh, hey. Hey, I think I'm getting an echo. Is that on my end? Did I mess something up?
I hear you perfectly fine. I don't know if it's...
So that means it's probably on your end then.
Does anybody else hear me echo?
Probably just don't want to embarrass you. Like, sure, it's fine. All right, well, let's get it rocking. We're professionals. This is why Kelly Ripa hires people like us, because we could take it all in stride.
Kelly Ripa. Legend.
One of these days I'll get invited on her show. But
I think you'll be there.
I'll
be sharing your vote. You got my vote. Let's see, we got Robert Lopez. Is Veru in play for tomorrow after it did exactly what you said to look for today? And yes, Robert. So you are a YouTube stream viewer, because I went over this yesterday. Everybody was talking about VERU yesterday, and I said very specifically on the live stream yesterday, watch for this stock to pull back to $10. The reason why I'm looking for $10 is because $10 used to be a pretty serious double top resistance on VERU. So today, after yesterday's huge explosive day, company had great news. Here's your pullback. There's your retest of 10. Now, what we look for going into tomorrow is for 10 to really stick and get off of this level. Okay. I'm not just a buyer down there at 10. These small cap stocks are really micro cap stocks. Oftentimes when they have these huge moves, they just fade back down, eventually, move themselves back down lower. They'll come out with offerings. I mean, people that were long SBFM, you guys are very familiar with offerings. SBFM, we actually traded SBFM on these days right here during this up move. And we took profits off into this move. And then took our final profits off the table pre-market on SBFM the day that they had actually announced their this was on Friday, the day they actually announced their offering. The stock's gone down significantly ever since. And guys don't want to get caught holding on to these and just creating these bags. Like stocks like this create bag holders because you have a lot of people that don't necessarily know any better. They see a stock's up, they see it's got news, they jump in, they chase the price action, they see the shiny object, they jump on it trying to ride the train, and then they get just derailed when the company comes out with an offering and they don't understand why the stock is down 50% from where they bought it. And that's the reason why. With a company like this, you got to be careful of that as well. But I'll trade it actively. If it holds 10, you got the chance for a potential squeeze on VERU. VERU has room if it stays above 10. Okay, so now that it pulled back to 10, now we're right into that area of support, potential buying zone, but I'm patient with it. I want to see this thing really stay above 10. And I'll probably become a buyer of this if we start to push back up to like $11.50, $12. At that point, I'll probably look to get long, look for a squeeze up towards like 18 or so, and my stop will be down around that $10. So not a buyer of it yet, but it is on watch. Robert did exactly what we talked about yesterday.
What I think so interesting about plays like that one is it really is just a technical play. Like it's a like you said, it's a smaller cap, like micro cap, whatever. So it can go like crazy. And this was, I believe they have a medicine now for like related to COVID, some like acute respiratory thing. So like I get the fundamental analysis, but like it really is a pure tech play. Like it's just like the technical analysis of like, hey, we have this level, if it holds, and then other people pile into it. It's such a momentum thing. And it just all got spurred by the announcement. But right now, like, there's a very, very good chance. I don't know about this one in particular, but like Mike, you've seen so many of these borrow plays. They're going to come back down to what it was normally trading at. But in the meantime, people like cut it both ways for millions and millions of dollars. Like it really, it's so interesting of like that this even exists. Cause like other ones we'll talk about like whatever, Tesla SPY, like, okay, fundamentals, like we're going to get into CPI and all that good stuff. And there's like reason. This one is like, it's a game of just like finding your support and resistance. And can you ride the trend? Yeah. It's interesting to me.
Yeah, you always got to be aware with these stocks, and a lot of people don't realize how they actually trade. And when you have a stock like this, that the news, for those that don't know, the news was that this company in a phase 3 trial showed a 55% decrease in death of patients with severe COVID cases. So people, the people that get COVID and are forced to go into the hospital and are where it could be something of a severe disease and potentially fatal for some people. This treatment reduced that risk of death by 55%, and that was the news that came out yesterday, and that's why the stock had its explosive move. But any company, any biotech that has any type of aspirations of bringing some type of drug treatment to market needs to constantly be raising money, because the whole time that these companies are developing those treatments and products, they are burning through millions and millions and millions of dollars of cash without earning a single dollar of revenue. So the companies operate at losses until they're able to successfully bring a drug to market. So that is why you always have to be careful with these kind of companies of the potential of an offering, which is where the company will sell shares at a particular price, typically at a discount to the current market price, to incentivize investors to come in and buy shares so that they can raise money. And you'll have an example like SBFM. I don't remember the exact price SBFM did their offering at, but the stock was at $10, $9.50. And then they announced an offering. I believe the offering was like, I don't know. I forgot what the offering was. Was it $5.50 or $6? I forgot where it was. With the offering, but that's why the stock then had such a severe drop, because the company ended up selling shares down at cheaper prices. Not saying that the VERU is going to do that tomorrow, but this is what I'm saying. You always have to be careful and conscious and aware of companies like this because of that risk. These are not, VERU is not Pfizer, it's not Merck, it's not Moderna, it's not Johnson & Johnson. Okay, this is a very small company that has some exciting news. Stock probably gets shorted when it moves up that high. But if it stays above key support levels, those short sellers could get squeezed out. And that's when things get really fun. And you ride that momentum, but you take your profits when you got them. You put that profit in your pocket. That's the safest place for it.
Did you see ATER at the end of the day? This is like the newest one that it's been on people's watch list, because actually the CEO in November said that he he was basically saying we have evidence of people naked shorting our company. So of course, with the ape community, social sentiment, it got some people's attention, but now it's starting to move. It moved more in post market, but this is another one. 41% short interest, 300% cost to borrow, sky high utilization, and 17 million shares on loan. So on the smaller side, not necessarily, I don't know where you cut off like micro cap or not, but it's on the smaller end. So definitely worthwhile for you and your viewers to actively pay attention to tomorrow. This thing could get some legs to it.
Yeah. I like, and going back to what you were talking before about technicals, right? About how a lot of these stocks like this will kind of trade on technicals because there's so much just momentum trading that goes along with it. This $4 level was crucial. Right? You take a look at the $4 level, and you guys can see I kind of drew out for you that this initial pop on volume kind of found resistance here at 4. Then you had the big gap up day on Friday. Monday, we pull it back. Tuesday, we pull it back. And you can see we stuck that $4 support level. And now the stock starts to extend from there. So for those that are looking at this ATER, $4 key level of support, and you're going to start to come up on some major resistance levels. Okay. I would say this $6 level going to be a key area for resistance if this thing is going to really get that squeeze action going, because your 200-day moving average sits right there, right above that $6 level, that yellow line that you all can see on my screen. And you look back to the left, you'll notice a previous support level in November that after it was broken, that level became resistance. And that's going to line up with that 200-day moving average. So for those that are looking at this ATER, another potential short squeeze play, you got a couple of these out there. You have ATER. Now, everyone, has been talking about MULN for a while now. MULN with the Hindenburg research report came out bashing the company, a short report on MULN, another one that's heavily shorted. But again, it comes down to the technicals. And the reason why I still like MULN is because I like it above 2. This $2 level on MULN, and I might be answering some people's questions that a lot of people might be asking me about MULN. I've been getting a couple questions about MULN basically every night for the last couple of weeks. And you guys will notice this downtrend resistance line forming a bit of a descending triangle, right? This little descending triangle action. And you would just look for us to break eventually up and out of this downtrend resistance line and then potentially experience a short squeeze. And that's what you're going to look for, folks. As long as MULN is above $2, you got to keep this on watch. As long as ATER is above 4, you got to keep that on watch. As long as VERU is above 10, you got to keep that on watch.
A lot of volatility, especially just now that we have a little bit more clarity on CPI. I like the volatility. Well, everyone should like the volatility. And this is what's coming back to, I think, one of our first conversations of 2022 of it's the year of the active trader. And that's what's so cool to me. And I guess I come from the side of a lot of people join the market through the GameStop, AMC, ape movement. And it's easy to understand that if you never knew anything about the stock market, it's not the most insane thought to be like, oh, wait, you make it when it's going up and everyone loses it when it's going down. Obviously, I know many of the TTG family members in here know that you just need volatility. You could play it however you want. And in fact, you're not going to make as much, but you could even make money when nothing's happening. You just sell some premium. It's not the most exciting thing. But to me, folks, if you're in here and you're feeling like a little bit fish out of the water, maybe your P&L hasn't been on the green side of things, maybe on the red side of things. Right now, to my understanding, obviously update me, folks, if I'm getting it wrong, but you can now get that trial for free. This is literally up to you. If you want to be a trader, do you want to dedicate the time? Because this is the type of stuff that Mike and other actual professional traders are giving out. And now you can get that for a week for free. I don't know. I'm a little bit more passionate about it because I remember when I started, the thousands of dollars that I wish I could have just taken back, because it was things that I guess sometimes you have to look yourself in the mirror and be like, hey, are you mature enough? Are you going to be self-disciplined enough to go after it? And I ended up paying for courses that were things I could have just found on YouTube. It's crazy. And then here, the fact that so much more is going on, this type of stuff, good luck finding other people who are literally commenting on this literally every single day. And Mike, I know I do it, so I know you have to do it. You've probably answered the same question 10,000 times, but that's what you do. It's just how it is. There's always new people revolving in. And isn't one of the coolest things is when the people in the audience, they now know it and then they start answering it. I think that's one of the coolest things. And I see that in the TTG chat room daily, literally daily.
Yeah, it's so true. I love it because Yeah, I always tell people when you join True Trading Group, I always tell people it's not just me. There's 8 other professional traders that are in there answering questions and calling out trades. But members themselves are a huge help. Members themselves are a huge, huge, huge help. I mean, I can't even in the on the YouTube channel, people are asking questions and members are providing them the answers because that's the point of being in a group, right? The point of being in a group is not to stroke the ego of a head trader. It's to make each other better. And I strive to make our members better, but our members also make me better. And you guys have to understand that it's not just a charity here that I'm just, hey, everyone just give everybody information. It's like you guys help me make me a better trader as well, because I only have 2 eyeballs. I can't look at 1,000 stocks all at the same time. So the more traders that we have that know what to look for, that have the same education that I have when I worked at the fund to be able to identify these type of opportunities, then the less likely we will be to miss really good opportunities in the market. And that makes me a better trader. And that makes all of our members better traders, makes all of our moderators better traders, makes everybody inside of TTG a better trader. So you guys can check out that trial. It's totally free. Go to ttgthree.com. You get 7 days inside of our trading chat room. That's 7 trading days. You guys will be able to participate inside of the TTG chat and see what it's like to be part of the fam. Just put in your name, email. You guys are good to go. Next question. Look at that. Alex, I was down like $7,000. And then in just 2 weeks, I went into positive $17,000. Alex, that's big time. Big time turnaround, brother. Great job.
I heard you paper-handed LMNOP. Is that true? Care to comment? In my career of YouTube, like I started off like not streaming. And if you watch some of my oldest videos, it was like really, really bad. And I was getting into it, but I've been trading for a bit and like, I liked it. I looked up to people like me, Kevin, Jeremy, Andre Jick. I liked it. And then I got into streaming and obviously the insanity of GameStop, AMC. So my point in roundabout a way is like, I've been through a lot, the highs, the lows, and there's been some hate lobbed at me. And if you're putting yourself out there, you have to expect it. But this fact that I've paper-handed LMNOP, it's one of the most frustrating things because like I've gone full tilt on it. And like there's things that you could take in stride and haha, laugh off. It's just people being trolls on the internet. But like the fact that people think I paper-handed it, I guess it makes me a little bit emotional, like honestly, because like what LMNOP stands for, and I don't know, Mike, if you've been tracking or not, but everyone in the audience, like this is the company. Like it's basically taking Apple and putting it on the blockchain and just the synergies that are involved in it. It's like synergy after synergy after synergy. And I'm just making so much money. And now they're like trying to detract from this movement of like blockchainizing like all synergy with equities and crypto. And like Warren Buffett's in on it. Bill Ackman's on it. I mean, everyone's getting in on this thing. And to think that I
think I saw Elon Musk tweeted about it too, I think.
Well, there's a lot of rumors, actually. That's why he's not on the board for Twitter, because he just doesn't have the time. Like, he wants to be on the LMNOP board. So, like, I don't know. Like, there's things like, haha, like, I'll laugh with AMC and Jimmy, but LMNOP, like, I'm all in, folks. And, like, if I sell, I'm dead. Let's just put it that way. Wait, you sold LMNOP?
Yes.
LMNOP saved my family.
Yes.
There was an interesting interview. So for you folks who want to know a bit more about it, I recorded someone else's interview on my channel, so you could feel free to check that out. For talking about it on mainstream media. LMNOP is currently saving my marriage.
Rachel from Friends wants to know. What's element? It's Apple meets Tesla meets blockchain.
Yeah, it's almost a better question of what isn't LMNOP. Like, I think it's easier for me to answer that, and the answer to that would be it's not. Like, it's not.
Sunny's long.
You listen. You guys missed LMNOP squeeze.
I might have to tweet out later tonight that I'm long LMNOP.
You'll find an amazing community. Really, really supportive people. Great DD.
Maybe people will be really excited.
There's a couple of people who I see are trying to squeeze it. I don't know. I've even heard rumors that its movement today was so crazy that a lot of charting services aren't even showing it anymore. Which, like, I'm so tired of these like keep comments. Oh man.
Oh.
Keep calm. It's a joke, folks.
Well, we ran it as long as we could until Adam put an axe in it. And I was like, enough. So lost in this conversation. Is it a coin?
It could be, sure. That's the beauty of it. It's whatever you want it to be.
Oh man. Next question, folks. What do we got? Don't be shy. Oh, but
I thought that was Adam's thing. We'd have to ask him about that.
Yeah,
that's for you, Adam.
We can't talk about LMNOP, but we can talk about feet, I guess. Someone goes, LMNOP is old news, but have you guys heard about DEFG?
I love it. I was actually reading, there's an interesting, oh wait, what's this one?
All right, we have a real question. We have a real question from Josh. We got to get serious. We got to get serious again. Aside from the psychological aspects of trading and money, is there anything I should be aware of when transitioning from paper trading to real money, but absolutely killing it with TTG and feel ready? Yes, Josh, I love that not only are you killing it, I love that you started off paper trading.
That's smart.
I can't tell you how happy I am that you began paper trading, because I literally tell everyone, like, if you're a new trader or if you're someone that is just still not profitable, trade on the simulator. If you are losing money, stop. Trade on the simulator. Let's figure out what you're doing wrong. Let's correct it. Let's make the adjustments. I love that you started on the simulator. The biggest thing that I want you to be conscious of, Josh, when you said aside from the psychological aspect with TTG, right? You guys get a simulator, by the way. Those of you that are watching right now, there is a simulator free with True Trading Group, okay? The data is real time. So you can trade in real time and trade stocks and options, but with fake money. This way you guys can still participate with everything that's going on during the trading day, buy stocks, buy options, sell options, just right alongside the TTG moderators, because we tell you guys, we give you all of our trades in advance of making them in real time. You can follow us and see how you guys are doing. Use the simulator, okay? Aside from like you're saying, the psychological aspects of money, that is the biggest part. That is the biggest part, Josh. It's when money is on the line. I will just tell you this. Make sure that you've been trading with the same position size on your simulator account as you would be trading in real life. If you're going to trade in real life with $1,000 account, do not trade on a simulator with a $100,000 account. Treat it like it's real. Okay? Treat it like it's real. And that way, when you do make the switch to real money, you're not changing anything. Nothing changes. The dollar amounts you're seeing go up and down on your P&L, the position sizes that you're taking, the take profits, everything stays exactly the same. Okay? So I would just say make sure that whatever you're trading with from the sim, make sure it's exactly the same amount of money as you would be trading with in real life. Treat it like it's real. And that way, when you make the transition to real money, it's going to have the least a bit of impact or feel like you're changing something if you do that.
Great advice. Would have saved me a lot of money. I think it would have saved a lot of people a lot of money to start with a paper account. Matt, explain what Webull is doing / unfair tactics to customers and why you quit working with them. So this is a business practice referred to as payment for order flow. So there's certain retail brokers who your order flow is sent to a market maker. It's not sent to a lit exchange. And to give you an example of them, you think of the New York Stock Exchange, NASDAQ, IEX. Your trades are not being executed there. You're going to what's referred to as a retail wholesaler. Citadel's the main one. Virtu's like kind of the second one. They dominate quite a bit. With this, it's one of these things where you are trading. This is a very deep market structure type of a thing. But what you need to know is it hampers price discovery and also this craziness that we saw with, especially with GameStop in January, of when it ran up and then all of a sudden the buy button was taken away. This is a business practice that leads to that type of a thing. It's not one of these things where if you get in and you're trying to buy at 10, they're going to give you a fill at like 15 and they mess you up that much. But it's a practice where they shave like a little portion of a penny off of every single share, off of every single retail trader. They end up making billions, and it's very deeply tied in with politics and regulations. And it's one of these things that I think it's adverse to really what you want as a retail trader, and also people with retirement accounts. If you look at pension funds and that type of a thing, it ends up costing billions of dollars a year. So I think it's one of those things that, like, on an individual level, it doesn't matter much. But if all of a sudden, if all retail is doing one thing, it's your voice collectively can be heard. So that's my stance against it. But it's not just Webull; it's also Robinhood. Some people care about it. I'm one of these people. Obviously, other people don't. They're like, okay, market structure is a foreign thing. I'm more focused on my trading. And hey, that's too. That's fine too. It's just a personal decision for me.
Yeah. I gotta tell you, I hate Robinhood so much. I actually get joy watching their stock go down.
It's getting slaughtered right now.
It's just disgusting.
They added Shiba Inu today as like a last ditch effort to make them relevant.
I hate Robinhood so much. We actually had a member, one of our TG members today was telling me, he messaged me about something that happened with him with Robinhood today. His account said he had 2 day trades left, and he made a trade and was up like 30% on an option position. And he went to sell it, and the platform wouldn't let him sell it because they said he had no more day trades left. But he's like, what are you talking about? My platform says I have 2 day trades. And they actually did not let him place the trade. And when he called customer service, they actually agreed with him. Like, oh, wow, yeah, it does say you have 2 day trades left. Sorry. And they wouldn't do anything about it. They still wouldn't let him exit the trade, even though they screwed up, wouldn't let him exit the trade. And I'm like, and I said to him, I go, okay, well, ask them if they can if they can bust the trade.
Mm-hmm.
Like bust the trade, meaning like cancel the executed order that actually got him into the trade in the first place. And they wouldn't do it. And they're like, oh, well, maybe what we can do is if you end up taking a loss, we can maybe reimburse you up to a 10% loss. So now he's just stuck in this position, can't sell it until tomorrow because of their mistake. I hate Robinhood.
Yeah, I hate them
I've been saying
so incredibly much. And what's crazy about it is it actually, not now, but for a bit there, heading into the start of the year, was a legitimately good short too. So it was fun to be hate them emotionally, but technically, and what was going on fundamentally, talking about fundamentals, this company's hemorrhaging money, hundreds of millions of dollars a quarter. It's losing active users. There's not the technical argument, the fundamental argument, and also the societal, I guess, opinion on Robinhood. It's 3 very red bearish things all together. It's insane.
Yeah, we shorted Robinhood back in November, I believe, when Robinhood broke that IPO low, right here when it broke that IPO low.
You got just the capitulation. You play that.
You got
3,
4. I mean, obviously, I wish I was still short the damn thing, but I was out of this thing, I think, in the 30s. Now it's sitting down here at 11. Obviously, hindsight, just hold the short. But I didn't really think this thing was going to go all the way down to $10, but sure enough, all the way down to $10. And I just have no intentions on ever putting this stock in my long-term portfolio. I think Robinhood was great when they were the only shop in town offering zero commission trading. That was enticing, and they revolutionized retail trading. So, I mean, honestly, as much as I say that I don't like Robinhood, as much as I say that, everybody that's a retail trader, honestly, you guys could thank Robinhood though, seriously, because they changed retail. They're the reason why E-Trade, Thinkorswim, Charles Schwab, they're the reason why they offer zero commission trading now. You used to have to pay $4.95 a trade for E-Trade, or $6.95 on other platforms for every single trade that you were making from an equity standpoint. And Robinhood came out and were like, 0 free trades, 0 commission trading. But that's where the whole pay for order flow comes into play, and that's how they make their money. So there's obviously a give and take there, but it's nice that there's now 0 commission trading on a lot of platforms. But now that you can trade on E-Trade or TD or Charles Schwab with 0 commission, I don't see the allure. I don't see the allure of Robinhood. I think those platforms are far better.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely knocked down some important walls. They just fell in the process of doing that.
Yeah.
And that's sometimes how business, I mean, in a weird example, Blue Apron, not that people necessarily hate them, but that's kind of what Blue Apron did for like the food delivery, cook at home type of a thing. Like it proved a business model and people iterated on it. And then they were kind of somewhat left in the dust.
Yeah.
The one thing I don't get about Hood though, and I was a big fan of her and I'm not kind of now, is Kathy Wood keeps loading up on it in Archer Vest. And I'm like, what are you? Stop. She's like breaking my heart.
I know, man. I'm just, I don't know. I don't want to.
You don't want to get murked by Kathy in the middle of the night. You're
yeah,
you're like, I can't.
I just look like, I don't know. I some of the things that, some of the moves that I just feel like she just doesn't care. Like she just doesn't care about the price of anything. She just like, no, I don't care. I don't care if the stock goes down 40, 50% after I buy it. I'm holding for 5 years. And I'm like, all right, all right, cool. But maybe you could be a little bit more active with the entries and like the asset allocation. But I mean, Kathy Wood, the woman's a genius. She's a Wall Street professional for many years, so I try to, I try to understand a lot of the things that she's doing, but by no means am I saying I'm smarter than her, better than her. That's not what I'm saying, guys. So please don't, misconstrue what I'm saying.
I'll say it. Mike's better than Kathy Wood.
No.
Don't rip that. I'll say
it. But yeah, I don't know which, but listen, she saw something in Tesla many years ago that nobody else saw.
Yeah, she did crush that one.
And that is her claim to fame. That is her. Yeah. She called Tesla when Tesla was at like 100 or 200. She said the stock's going to 5,000, and sure enough, it did. When you factor in the splits that Tesla went through, it got there. A lot of people made fun of her when she was going through, when she made that call, and she got ridiculed for many years. Tesla was a very heavily shorted stock. Nobody thought the valuation made sense. People looked at it as a car company. They're never going to be able to become profitable. And they were wrong. And they very highly underestimated Elon Musk, but Kathy Wood did not. And she was rewarded very handsomely for that call and for that bet that she made. And it earned her the status that she has today. And it takes a lot of guts and it takes a lot of smarts to not only make that call, but to be confident in that call when everyone else is calling you stupid. It's easy to back away from a call when everybody's telling you you're wrong, to still have that conviction. That does say a lot about her character. I don't want to take that away from her because I respect her for that. But some of the moves lately with like a Robin Hood and a bunch of others that she has gotten herself into at significantly higher prices, it just makes me like, oh, maybe you could have, tried to time that a little bit better, but it is what it is.
We'll see who gets the last laugh. Maybe she's right. Maybe she's looking so deep and it's something we're missing out on, but or maybe she's just riding off the profits of Tesla and she just doesn't care.
Well, you know what it is too, and honestly, and this takes me right back full circle to like a lot of people that are getting involved in the markets now or got involved in the markets for the last 2 years for the first time, where they just fell so in love with Kathy Wood because of Tesla that all they do is do exactly what Kathy Wood does. And, that's become a blessing and a curse at the same time. Yes, Kathy Wood's a very smart woman, and she, is a professional, but Kathy Wood will be the first person to tell you that she does not care what the price of the stocks are today. She only cares what they are 5 years from now. And that's great for someone that's managing hundreds of billions of dollars. But the average retail person with a couple $1,000 can't do that.
Yeah.
You can't buy Robinhood at 40, buy it again at 30, buy it again at 20, and buy it again at 12. Yeah. Your whole account's gone at that point, and you're just invested in Robinhood and nothing else. So I think that, it just goes right back to where people, if you're looking to trade and you're looking to move from like your current kind of positioning and things that might have worked for you in the past, but you're finding are not working for you now, you have to try to take a little bit more of an active approach and not just say, I'm going to buy this stock and I don't care what happens. I'll see in 5 years. Well, if that's the mindset that you take, you're going to miss out on a lot of good money making opportunities during that time period, because if you own Robinhood from $40 or $50, well, it could take 5 years for the stock to get back to there. And then you're just going to, you're just going to be dead money for 5 years. You could be putting that money to work in other places. And I think that's where, like, especially after like the COVID kind of craze settles down and people start getting back to a normal lifestyle, you realize that, what may have worked 2 years ago does not necessarily work now. Does that mean that you no longer are able to make money in the markets? Absolutely not. Retail traders have been making money in the markets, since their inception, and will continue to well after. But the point is that, becoming more educated, understanding how to take a more active approach and how to actually get in and out of positions, whether it's within a day, within a couple of weeks, within a couple of months, rather than just buy a stock and hold on to it for 5 years. I think you're doing yourself a massive disjustice, especially in the market environment that we're currently in. Stocks are going up, stocks are going down. The market is not moving as one. Last year and the year before, everything went up. Everything went up. Doesn't matter what sector it was in 2020, 2021, everything just went up, right? Endless stimulus. Now you got tech stocks are down, bank stocks are down, but then you have oil stocks are up and gold stocks are up. There's bull markets and bear markets within the overall market. And if you're not able to identify where those opportunities lie, you're going to have a little bit of a harder time. And that's where, honestly, the guys that, the moderators at True Trading Group, that's where we come in, do all that heavy lifting for you. All right.
Oh, Kathy. All right. I feel like, Mike, what do you think? This is I think, honestly, I'm seeing some questions over here. This is a good time, I think, to give a higher level view of even what TTG is for all the new people. And then if you want, we could chat about CPI and inflation and some ideas from there.
Yeah, I want to dive into that CPI number from today. Before we get into the CPI number, folks, I actually would like to see who's on the live stream right now that is not a member of True Trading Group. If you guys are not a member, do me a favor and type the letters TTG. Type the letters TTG if you are not a member of True Trading Group.
So it's an awkward delay.
All right, we got Eduardo Rubio. We've got Just Sam. We got Benz, James G. Diddy, Summer Girl and Super Dad, MB Steezy, GBF Reacts, Violet, Adam, Lee, Alexander, Mike V, John Sanchez, Paul Parker, Novinsky, Reverend John, Linda, Dip Lover, Dana, N. Wills. Beautiful, guys. A lot of non-members. Troy, Tim, Claudia LaQuinn. Welcome back, Claudia. Dana, JS Branton, what's good? Troy Legger, what's going on, my man? Tim Corvin, Tommy 12, what's up? Guys, listen, a lot of new faces here, a lot of non-members. I love seeing it. Pravir, how are you? Redemption Projections, welcome. Listen to me carefully, folks. I'm going to go into just a couple of minutes. I'm going to talk to you guys how you can join the platform. We got some discounts and incentives for those interested. Don't go anywhere, because in literally about 5 minutes, Matt's coming back on. Matt and I are going to talk about the CPI data today, what it means for markets. Why did we just move higher, okay, in the morning and then sell off there later in the day? Why did the markets originally go higher on the back of the CPI number, right? When the CPI data came out, markets screamed higher early in the pre-market session, continued higher off the open, and then sold off the entire rest of the day. Why is that? What does this mean now going forward? I'm going to talk to you guys about that. Matt's just had to step away, had to run to the bathroom. He's going to be back in just a few moments, and then we'll talk CPI numbers. While he's away, I'm going to go over with you guys some of this information. Again, literally, give me just 5 to 10 minutes, and then we're going to dive into CPI. Okay? So for all of you that typed TTG, okay, in chat, I want you guys to understand something. True Trading Group is like the Netflix of trading communities. You pay one price for the whole year. You get access to all of our current and future courses and all of our current and future tools. Normally, the price of a TTG membership is $2,212. However, the next 20 people that go to ttgoffer.com and use the code TTG121 get a 47% discount. That brings the price down to just $1,170. That's for the entire year. And the next 20 people that sign up before midnight tonight will also be getting $150 cash back when you complete and pass the TTG courses and quizzes. Yes, you'll pay $1,170. If you pass our courses and quizzes, we'll give you back $150. Why do we do that? Guys, there is a direct correlation between our successful members and members that go through the courses and pass the quizzes, and struggling members that have not gone through courses and not passed the quizzes. Now, does that mean that every single person that's passed our courses and quizzes is a consistent profitable? No, it does not mean that 100% of those members are profitable, but there's a glaring difference between our successful members and those that have gotten that are not successful, between those that have gone through the courses and quizzes and those that have not. So a little incentive there for you to actually put in just a little bit of effort. Those courses are available 24/7, 365 to go at your own pace on your own schedule. I don't need 40 hours a week. Give me a handful. Give me literally 2 to 3 hours a week, maybe. And I think that's plenty for you guys to be able to go through, pass the courses and quizzes, and we'll immediately send you $150 cash back. As an added bonus, you're going to get 2, not 1, 2 small private study group sessions with a TTG Pro to answer your questions and help speed up your learning curve. Okay. At TTG, we take a professional trading educational curriculum that I learned that I worked at the fund. It's both in-depth and complex, yet very easy to understand. And whether you've never traded a stock a day in your life, or if you've been trading for many years and you're looking at getting the edge, the curriculum platform can help you guys reach your goals. We paired that education and platform with tools from today's top fintech companies like Benzinga, TradingView, Quote Media, CBOE, Polygon, Trade Ideas. If you paid for these tools on your own, you're spending at least $4,000 to $5,000 a year. We have gone through and done the work for you to go and negotiate deals with these companies to have their products on our platform so you can use them for just $1,170 for the entire year. And on top of that, you're going to be joining a community of active, educated, and helpful traders that are led by our team of full-time trading mods that have a collective experience of over 100 years of trading that sports a collective win rate of just under 80%. We focus on stocks, options, crypto futures, day trading, swing trading, but also long-term investing. Results matter at True Trading. Your results. We measure your results through your actual P&L. Bottom line is the vast majority of our members are making money. You don't believe me? Watch this. Guys, THD fam, real quickly. If you're a member of True Trading Group and you're making money, very simple question. I want you to type the $ in chat right now. Type the $ in chat right now. Now, everyone that typed before that said TTG, you're not a member. If you're not a member, my advice right now is don't pay attention to me. See how many $ come through chat right now. Try to count them. Try. I say try because you're not going to be able to, because this is how many members we have in True Trading Group that are doing well, making money, becoming better traders. There's no difference between them and you guys. They found us most likely the same way that you did, and that's one of these live streams. They have the same excuses you have. Small account, full-time job, no experience, lost a bunch of money in the past, but yet here they are, telling you that they're now making money thanks to True Trading Group. Now, you just heard me talk about for the last couple of minutes how great TTG is, right? Well, now listen very carefully while I actually go one step further and I put my money where my mouth is. Anyone that joins True Trading Group tonight, if you join by midnight tonight, not only do you get a 47% discount, brings the price down to $1,170. Not only do you get $150 cash back upon completing our courses and quizzes.
Mike,
what's up?
My favorite question just came up in chat.
Oh, I don't mean to be a downer, but could those all just be bots?
Yes,
Guys,
yes, they could. But watch what I can make these bots do. Hang on
I
one
was going
second.
to make them type Eduardo.
Damn you, Mike.
Yeah, see, we're on the same page, Adam. Guys, listen. Eduardo, they could be bots. My TTG fam.
It sounds like an infomercial. It's an edumercial. This is the best.
It's an edumercial, Jules. It's an edumercial, Jules, because the information education we provide for you on here is more education information you're going to get anywhere else. And yes, I come on here and I share with people how they can join the TTG family because that's people want it. People want to know.
All right, can everyone just type Eduardo in chat real quick?
Yes, everybody type Eduardo. So Eduardo, just so you know that none of these people are bots, guys, my TTG fam, if you're making money with TTG, type Eduardo. Type Eduardo. So Eduardo Rubio, my friend, watch how many new friends you just made. They're all going to be calling out your name.
And Eduardo, if you want them to say something else, I need a second to update the script. So that
All right.
All
So
right.
there you go. All right. So there's all of my TTG fam that are going ahead there typing away.
There you go, Eduardo.
Eduardo. All right, Eduardo. So there you go, buddy. Okay. So there is that. All right. Now, let me go back to what I was saying before. Okay. Not only do you get the 47% discount, brings the price to $11.70, but we're going to give you $150 cash back. So really, the price is only $1,020. Okay, because we're going to give you $150 cash back once you complete our courses and quizzes. So really, you're spending $1,020. You're also going to get the 2 small private study groups, but here's where I put my money where my mouth is. And Jewel, listen up. If you join True Trading Group right now and you pay $11.70, if you commit to going through our courses, passing our quizzes, and attending 1 study group, do those 3 things, and if you still do not make the $11.70, the cost of your membership, if you do not make the $11.70 back at least once during your membership, not only will I give you your $1,170 back, I'm going to give you an additional $500 on top of that. So I'm going to give you back $1,670, an extra $500 in your pocket for wasting your time. That's how confident we are in our ability to help you become successful. That's what I mean by your results matter. Not my results, not somebody else's results on social media, not a bunch of members of other results. If you are not able to make the $11.70 back, you personally, after going through the courses and quizzes, we are going to send you your $11.70 back plus an additional $500. Nobody is going to offer you a deal like that because they're not as confident in their ability to help you become as successful as we are. Okay, so let me be clear. The next 20 people that go to ttgoffer.com and enter the coupon code TTG121, you get the 47% discount. You get the 2 small private study groups, the $150 cash back, and the money back guarantee plus an additional $500 on top. Okay, that's only for the next 20 people. That offer is good until midnight tonight. So you guys got a few hours left. You'll know that you're getting one of those spots as long as you see the $150 cash back offer in your checkout cart. You know that you are good to go. Okay, as long as you see it, you know you're good to go. All right, so that's for all my TTG fam that just type the letters TTG. If you have questions about the membership, if you're interested, you're unsure, you have questions, you want to talk to somebody, no problem. Send a text message. Don't call. It's a text message only phone number. Send a text message to 201-775.
So how are they going to talk to me if they can only text message, Mike?
201-775-9702. Again, that's 201-775-9702. That phone number is right there at the bottom of your screen, folks. If you have questions, feel free to reach out. That strapping young gentleman that just popped his head in, that's Adam, business partner and co-founder of True Trading Group. Will be more than happy to help answer any questions that you guys have. Okay.
I also heard he has immense people skills.
What's that?
I said I also heard that he has immense people skills.
Oh, God. Yeah. So Jules says, I thought this was supposed to be a sampling of real trading info. Well, Jules, we've been live right now.
Where the fuck were you for the first?
Yeah. Where were you, Jules, for the first 50 minutes of this live stream? Jules, we've been on this live stream for 55 minutes. For the first 49 minutes, we went through a Q&A session. We answered questions that people had. I just told you guys how you can join the membership. I spent about 6 or 7 minutes telling you about this. For those that are interested, you guys can take advantage of that deal. And then I'm going to bring back on Matt, and he's going to help me go over and talk to you guys about CPI data. All right.
What did we do? When did we get ice cream?
I don't know. When did we get ice cream?
What the fuck?
Squirrel. All right. So you guys have it. Or if you guys are still unsure, we do have that free 1-week trial for that. Go to TTG.com. Ah, there we go. Jules says, I was at work. I logged on about 15 minutes ago. Jules, see, that's why. That's why, Jules. Jules, you missed the first 50 minutes of the live stream. But no worries.
Why can't you deduce that on your own?
We're about to kick it. Don't worry about it. Jules, don't worry about it. We're about to talk CPI data. Okay? We're about to talk CPI data. Don't worry about it. All right? So if you guys want to join the trial, it's totally free. It's 7 days, a full 7 days. TTG.com. Name, email, rock and roll. Come see what's up with True Trading Group if you guys experience what it's like to become part of the TTG family. Ah, Plum God. That's great news. Yes. Yes. Plum God. Yes. There he is. Oh, so happy for you. So guys, this is Plum God. I was going to give you, so remember earlier in the live stream when I was a member actually told me today that Robinhood wouldn't cancel the order. Yes. See, Plum God, I told you, man. I told you, hit them up, drill them. This is your mistake. Cancel this trade. This is your mistake. I'm so happy that they did that for you. Great job, man. And became a lifetime member today. Plum God, you're stuck with me now for life. Plum God is stuck with me now for life. I love it. I love all my TTG fam. You guys are the best. Plum God, I look forward to trading with you for many, many years, my friend. Many, many, many years. Okay? All right, guys. So there we have it. There's that. I want to go ahead. I want to bring Matt back. I think Matt's done. There he is.
I feel like who missed our LMNOP reviews?
Matt, did you wash your hands?
No, I don't believe in that. That's silly.
That's all right.
And it's not germs. I don't believe in water is my thing. I want to clarify. I believe in germs. That's science. But water, I have questions.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, guys.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move things on. Let's dive in. Let's start talking about CPI data. So for those that do not know what CPI data is, Consumer Price Index, CPI, is basically the price increase or decrease that consumers pay for different goods, gas, food, cars, housing. This is all factored into your CPI data, okay? So today, we got a CPI reading of 8.5%, higher than the expectation of, I believe it was 8.4. Highest number we've had in 40 years, okay? Highest number that we've had in 40 years, which just goes to show you how severe the move here has been when it comes to inflation. And what happened today, when that number came out, everybody knew that number was going to be hot, but your bulls are grasping at straws to try to figure out where can they find a bullish argument. And the markets actually moved higher when that number first initially came out. And I'll give you guys kind of my thoughts on why I believe that. Oh, everybody, welcome Charles. Charles, what's up, brother? Welcome to the family. There's only 19 of those spots left now for the $150 cash back, the 2 private study groups, and the money back guarantee, plus an additional $500 on top. So you'll pay $1,170. We're going to give you back $1,670. All right. So there's 19 spots left for those that want to take advantage of that offer before midnight tonight. All right. After midnight tonight, that $150 cash back offer drops to just $50 cash back, and that $1,170 price goes up. Okay. So everybody welcome Charles. Now, let me explain kind of what I think, why the markets actually moved higher when this number first came out. Because when you peel away the layers of information that makes up the CPI number, there was a couple of things in there that showed a little bit of promise and possibility that inflation is peaking. And let me tell you why some people thought that. And I'll tell you what I think. And then, Matt and I will, Matt, get your thoughts as well on the CPI number. And then we can kind of talk about this topic. I'm sure some people are going to have a lot of questions about what this number means now going forward. But you had a large drop in the price of used cars, automobiles. Housing also beginning to cool off a little bit. You also had mortgage applications drop significantly month over month. You had the price of cars drop significantly. Actually, the largest percentage drop in used cars since the 1960s. Now, these are things that people are grasping at to try to say, oh, look, inflation has peaked. Because when you factor out when you factor in core CPI and you take away food and you take away energy, the number doesn't look that bad. The number actually could look like inflation is beginning to peak, because you actually looks like the housing market starting to cool off a little bit. You got used car prices dropped significantly month over month. You had month over month inflation of, I think it was just 1.2%, if I'm not mistaken, which is actually a slowdown of the rate of increase from last month. It's 8.5 is the increase from year over year. So 8.5% is how much we've increased over the past year. But month to month, from last month to this month, the rate of increase was actually a little bit, we still increased, but the rate of increase was actually a little bit lower, which showed that we were actually starting to, inflation was starting to slow down, still moving higher, but at a slower pace. And then you have some inner workings when you factor out energy and food. You had some areas of the market we can say, okay, wow, you know what? Maybe inflation's peaking. And that's where the market just shot up when this number came out. I mean, guys, we ripped like 5 points on the S&P when that number came out. That was a significant, it wasn't just like a little tiny like, bloop. No, a 5-point rip when that number came out. And then we gave it all back. Okay, we gave it all back by the end of the day. Okay, so you can see we were trading all the way down here pre-market when that number came out, and then we surged right off the open. We surged pre-market, and then we surged right off the bell, and then we rolled this thing back over. And now let me tell you why I think that as people digest this information, the markets ended up giving it back. Because if you factor out food and energy, yeah, underpinnings of the CPI number might not look that bad. But the consumer can't factor out food and energy. And what I think it comes down to is people realize the Fed and raising rates cannot impact the price of food, cannot impact the price of energy. It'll impact housing. It'll impact auto loans, mortgages, right? It'll impact demand. Demand will cool off for cars, semiconductors, housing. So maybe that area of inflation might cool off. But raising the federal funds rate is not going to bring down the price of oil. Raising the federal funds rate is not going to bring down the price of wheat, the price of corn. That's the stuff that consumers really care about. Consumers don't buy a house and a car every single day, but we buy food and we fill up our gas tanks every single day. So although when you peel these layers back and you hear people talk about that this morning, they're like, oh, well, if you minus out food and energy, it looks like inflation's peaked. Well, it's great for an analyst to peel back food and energy and say that, but the consumer can't peel back food and energy because consumers got to pay for that day in and day out. So that's that's my take on the CPI number and on CPI data. All right. And why I think the markets moved higher off the open and then sold off there down into the close. If there's anything that I take away from this is if you ever get a ceasefire between Russia and Ukraine, the market's going to pop. It's going to pop significantly because the market just told me today that, hey, the Fed, they're going to get this part of inflation under control, but not this part. We need something else to take care of this part of inflation. And that could be a resolution to Russia-Ukraine, could help oil prices and food prices come down. So that's what I got from today's price action. That's my kind of thoughts. That's my analysis. Excuse me. That's my analysis. Matt, I'll let you kind of go through what your thoughts were today. And then maybe we can even, there's maybe some viewers that have some questions. We can really kind of dive in and kind of roll things.
Yeah. Okay. And I think a lot of it we're on the same vein. Maybe I'll just say it in a different way for maybe someone out there who like maybe just it resonates a little bit differently. So yes, it came in at 8.5. Expectations were 8.4. Those are year-over-year readings. Just so you know, that was the consumer price index. So if you're buying stuff, me, that's how much inflation has been going up. We also do get a thing referred to as producer price index. That'll be coming out in the next couple of months. But anyway, month over month, we were up 1.2%. Expectations were 1.1. This is all stuff that Mike was saying. And I do have some of the energy and the food numbers just to share with all of you because I think it's so important. But understand maybe a thing that I could articulate differently than Mike, but saying really the same thing is the Fed has the ability to control demand. And they can do that. They can lessen demand by increasing interest rates, but they can't have much of an impact on supply. Supply chain or supply side issues is much more of the world of what's going on. Obviously, COVID, it was a huge hit there with Russia right now. Remember, they're a massive exporter of fertilizer. Well, fertilizer is used to grow soy and wheat. Soy and wheat is used for basically raising animals. Remember that Ukraine is a massive exporter of wheat. So there are certain macroeconomic things that you have to start to draw, like, I guess, lines, almost like in Sunny in Philadelphia when he's there with the red twine of like attaching it all. That's kind of how our macroeconomic situation is. But to dive into some of those specifics, so used car sales actually dropped 3.8%. So that's like the silver lining that a lot of people are still paying attention to. But that also, in year over year, they're still up 35. If you look at energy and food is up 8.8% year over year. And in the past month, it's up 1%. That might not seem like that much, but in the world of food, that's actually very, very important. And when you're talking about like big banks and their, I guess, like breakdown of it, this is why they're starting to float words such as like global famine, and it all ties to wheat and fertilizer and the increase in price and supply chain issues. Energy went up 11%, 32% year over year. So all of those are some silver lining situations, some very serious situations. And I guess I want to, articulate this to all of you because I think it's very fair it's like, you're not insane for thinking that maybe you're falling behind on the financial ball here. Like it's very, very real that things are more costly. And unfortunately, and I think this is something that like really needs to be driven home, is relative to inflation, hourly wages have actually fallen by 2.7% and weekly wages have fallen by 3.6%. As in, people are operating at like kind of a net loss relative to where they were before the spike in inflation. And that's obviously not good. Like, my heart goes out to the average person. But I think also it's a very, very silly game to think that the Federal Reserve or the government is going to be your like knight in shining armor type of a situation. Think about the government. Just recently, they're calling it the Putin price hike, like fully blaming it on him, and just other ridiculous things of saying, hang on, it's actually getting better, when month over month, it's still actually like increasing the total magnitude of it. And then if you look at the Fed, they were the same people gaslighting us, saying it was transitory. Don't worry about it. We have it under control. So if you look at the two people or the two organizations, I should say, that maybe have the capability through regulatory means to make your life a little bit better, everything I'm seeing from a quantifiable standpoint is that they're not going to. It is you. Like, no one's going to come to save you. It's you that's going to save you. And whether you choose to engage in the markets or not, personally, I'm a big fan of it. I think that's actually a very real thing that could offset the 2.7%, the 3.6%. Maybe that bill that you're falling a little bit behind on is going to happen overnight. No. Adam, Mike, nor myself is going to say, yes, if you start today, tomorrow you're good. It's not going to happen. That's not how trading is. But it at least gets the ball rolling. You start with that paper account. You watch some of the modules. You start to learn a little bit what's going on. Because if there's anything that I've learned, and remember, I'm just a 27-year-old dipshit, but relying on the government or the Fed to bail us out of these type of absurd things, it's just not going to happen. Like, you have to almost like bring it back into yourself. So as I was going through the numbers, and like whenever you look at anything related to the Fed and all this stuff, it just gets insane. I mean, used cars, did they fall? Yeah, but they're still up 35%. Like, the financial situation of what we have going on is like absurdly serious. And with it, you're not going to change it overnight. Like, you're not going to be this rock star that all of a sudden, like, your money's perfect, your financial situation is figured out. But I also would guarantee you that you're not going to get there if you don't start, and you're also not going to get there if you're not properly educated. Like, I could guarantee that with any amount of money I have or will ever gain, that you have to be a little bit more serious about stuff, because it's serious. Like, we'll mess around, we'll talk about LMNOP, and like, that's jokes, but it's at a certain point to alleviate like serious global situations that impact everyone, and that means you and your family. So those are the things I'm watching. I mean, this is serious. I don't trust in them to lessen the load in terms of, I guess, inflation in the short term. I think eventually they will pull it out. I'd be willing to bet a serious amount of money in May. Just so you guys know, the next Fed rate hike, it comes on. We'll find out the results on Wednesday, May 4th. I would bet a lot, and the futures market is currently pricing it in, that it'll be a 0.5% increase, which is double what we just got. Some people are still calling that a policy error, maybe just not enough, a little bit too late. Other people are saying maybe it's a little bit too extreme on the other side, and it could really impact the stock market. Obviously, Monday morning quarterbacking is the easiest way to handle this. Like, just hindsight bias is always going to be 2020. But it's leading into serious volatility. And with it, is that a little bit doom and gloom? Yeah. But on an individual level, it means that there's going to be high volatility in the market, which is literally the definition of a money-making opportunity. Up, down, you can make money. You're looking for volatility. And I don't see volatility subsiding at all in the next couple months, at all. That was my takeaway from it all. I don't know if you agree, disagree, Mike.
No, I do. I agree. I also, just first, real quick, before I respond to that, I want to welcome Stan, Mark, and Alan. Guys,
Sweet.
my TTG fam, you've got 3 new members. Our tree just got bigger. Stan, Mark, and Alan, welcome to our TTG fam. Guys, remember, go to ttgoffer.com. All right. There are 16 spots left now. Use the coupon code TTG121. You'll get the 47% discount. You'll get the 2 small private study group sessions for free. $150 cash back upon completing our courses and quizzes. And if you fail to make your membership fee of $11.70 back at least once during your membership after going through our courses, quizzes, and 1 study group, we will send you $1,670 back in return. Your money back plus an extra $500 for wasting your time. Go to ttgoffer.com right now. And actually, Matt, before we do go any further, I just want to take a quick little moment of silence for Gilbert Godfrey. He recently actually did a promo for True Trading Group, and it was awesome. As most of you guys know, I say "Ayo" on these live streams in some of our ads. Some people absolutely hate it. Some people love it. But Gilbert Godfrey actually did an awesome spin on my AO. Adam, go ahead, show him real quick.
This is going to be good, Mike. Can you hear me?
I certainly can.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
Since all you haters didn't like it when an award-winning hedge fund trader screamed, "Ew!" of these videos, we decided to make some changes. Now get ready to learn, trade, and profit. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
I like that.
It's funny, but it makes me so sad at the same time.
Yeah.
You're welcome. That's like the best part.
That's my favorite part.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
All right.
So that was Gilbert Godfrey. R.I.P. R.I.P. So yeah, getting back to the CPI. Yeah, Matt, I agree, man. You're not, it's the supply issue. Increasing interest rates is not going to fix the supply chain. It's not going to, fix the imbalance of supply and versus the demand for oil coming out of COVID and the global demand that you have. All that's something that the Fed can't change. And that's why as we go into the most aggressive rate hike cycle that most people on this live stream have probably ever seen. It's the most aggressive rate hike cycle that I've ever seen in my life. And I've been trading professionally for 15 years. I've been trading for 17. So, the Fed really could use some help. And a ceasefire in Russia, Ukraine would help them get this under control. The Fed has a very difficult job to try to bring down inflation without putting the economy into a recession. And that job was going to be difficult without a war in Europe. Now you add that, it makes it even harder. It's like, try to shoot a bow and arrow, from 10 yards out. You're trying to shoot a bow and arrow through a hole, the size of a bowling ball. Now you got to try to fit that bow and arrow or that arrow through a hole the size of a ping pong ball. Very high chance of missing that mark. So, anything that the Fed, anything that could help bring down the price of commodities, and whether that's going to be supply chain fixes, Russia, Ukraine with oil, it would help. It would help make their job easier because like to Matt's point, the Fed can control demand. Okay. The demand side is where rising interest rates is going to help, but the supply side is out of the Fed's control. Okay. You need us to completely get out of COVID. You need China to stop going into lockdowns, to give supply chains a chance to finally right themselves, and a ceasefire in Russia, Ukraine, and eventually maybe sanctions being lifted, which even if you get a ceasefire, sanctions aren't going to be lifted the next day. The sanctions are going to stay there for a while, but that could alleviate some of those pressures, which could help bring inflation back down. Fed Governor Bernard, she spoke today, and she actually said that that over time inflation will come back down to 2%. Not a surprise that she said that, but the sooner that Russia-Ukraine ends, the sooner you can have inflation go back to 2.5. And we can go back to a normal inflationary environment. 2% is a normal inflationary environment. That's 2%. All right. So I still think that this is a problem because the purchasing power of the consumer is going to start to diminish if the cost of food and energy continues to rise. Right now, up to this point, companies have been able to pass price hikes onto the consumer. And to this point, the consumer has absorbed the inflation that we've seen at the grocery store, that we've seen at the gas pump, that we've seen in the housing market, in the auto market. The consumer is so strong because they're cashed up coming out of COVID with all this pent up demand and record high savings, the consumers absorbed it. But that can only go on for so long. Eventually, and this is why people are saying the clock is ticking. If you think that we're going into a recession, the clock is ticking, and it's a battle between how long can the consumer absorb this inflation? How strong is the consumer? Eventually, if inflation was to stay up here at these levels, then eventually the consumer will break. Okay, and the consumer is going to stop spending and it'll break, and then you go into the recession. But if inflation can start to come down before the consumer breaks, you avoid the recession, and then growth slows but does not go negative. Inflation comes all the way back down, and then now you are left at a slow, moderate, steady 1% to 2% GDP growth. And that would be best case scenario. And then you go back to a very normal market environment. The one thing that we happened today is your treasury yields righted themselves. You had inverted yield curves last week. The 2-year treasury yield was above the 10. The 5-year was above the 30. That's the opposite. Those are recessionary signals. Today, the 2-year went back under the 10, the 5-year back under the 30 significantly, and they actually steepened. But the weird part is that you actually had the curve between the 2-month and the 2-year flatten. That's worse. Okay. So you want to look at closer term yield curves. This might be over some people's heads. I actually did a whole live stream on what treasury yields mean and what an inverted yield curve means for the economy, why it matters. I just did that just last week. You guys want to go back and watch that live stream. I explained an inverted yield curve, what it means, why it matters, why it's important. I don't want to take up too much time on this live stream going through that. But for those that missed it, you guys can go back and check that out. Brittany, welcome to the TTG family. Brittany, welcome. Guys, there's now just 15 spots left. Don't be shy, folks. TTGoffer.com, TTG121 coupon code. Everybody welcome. Brittany, 15 spots now remain.
What up, Brittany?
Brittany. All right. So if you're watching for recession signals, watch short-term treasury bills and notes. So like a 3-month to a 2-year. Watch the 3-month to the 2-year. If you start to see a higher interest rate on a 3-month T-bill than you do on a 2-year note, that's a bigger sign of a possible recession than the 5-year crossing over the 30 or the 2-year crossing over the 10. So watch the 3-month to the 2-year. That's a bigger signal. All right. So welcome, Brittany. All right, guys. Well, we got another one. Taylor, welcome. Welcome, Taylor. 14 spots now remain. Everybody welcome Taylor, newest member of the TG family. 14 spots now left.
Welcome,
all right.
Welcome.
Okay.
Sweet. Well, here's to the volatility that's going to be coming.
It's not going anywhere, man.
Yeah.
It's not going anywhere, but I will tell you this. Today's action in the market is something that, like I said, if the day comes, and I hope it comes sooner than later, not just for the sake of the market, but for the sake of, humanitarian reasons, that Russia-Ukraine war ends. You have to be long that day.
Yeah,
that's what I get out of that. You have to be long the market that day. Now, I'm not saying that you just hold on for dear life, because there's still a lot of other problems that the markets have to worry about. And is the Fed going to be able to engineer a soft landing? But people grasped today onto core numbers like auto and housing, but food and energy is still too much. It's still out of control. So if you ever do get that ceasefire that day that news comes out, you've got to look to I'm not going to try to fight that day. Like if we get a big gap up, I'm not going to try to fade that gap up on the day that occurs. Now that could happen tomorrow, next week, next month. It can happen in 5 months, whatever. Whenever that day comes, that'll be a day that I'm just saying I'm looking to buy call options on pullbacks. I'm looking to get long stocks on pullbacks. And I'll probably ride that for maybe 1 or 2. I'll probably ride that for maybe 2 days. And then I'll start to take my profits off the table. And then I'll look to see if we go right back into fading rallies. But it's a day that I think that when you get the rally, it's going to last at least for 1, 2, maybe 3 days. And you can ride that upside. That's what I got from price action today. Writing it down in the little notebook for trade ideas. If and when that moment comes, I will be taking advantage of that. The question is, will you be in chat with me when that moment does come to take advantage of it with us? All right, Matt, as always, man, another solid stream, another solid wardrobe choice.
A pleasure.
Yeah, good luck. Let me know when you buy some more LMNOP on that pullback.
Sounds good.
I
appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I buy it at all points. Pullbacks, doing nothing, market open, market closed. I just buy it. That's the rule.
I love it. I love it. Good
All right.
stuff.
Well, I appreciate your time. It's always a privilege. Shout out to the TTG fam, and obviously special shout out to the Moon Gang who joined us over here this evening. But I'll be catching you soon. Have a good one, Mike.
Yeah, Matt, thank you always, man. Always love the insight. Always love the conversation. All the Moon Gang members that join the TT stream, we love you guys just the same. Thanks for tuning in. Matt, good luck the rest of the week, brother. Have a good holiday over the weekend if I don't talk to you. But I'm sure we're going to be having many conversations here coming up as we got to digest all this craziness going on in the markets and all this volatility. We'll talk again real soon, man. Thanks for joining us.
Sounds good. Have a good one.
Later, man. All right, folks. Well, there you have it. That kind of wraps up the educational aspect of the live stream. What I'd like to do here quickly now, for those that are still interested, okay, educational aspect of the live stream is finished. If you are still interested, I'll show you the platform that is TTG, okay? I'll show it to you. Because when you join True Trading Group, you're not just joining to get my trade alerts and to be part of a chat room. There's tools available to you on our platform that professional traders use to make better informed decisions. We have those platforms for you to use. We teach you how to use them so you can make better informed decisions, okay? So let me show you what that stuff looks like. Remember, the platform that is TTG normally costs $2,212. However, the next 14 people that go to ttgoffer.com and enter the code TTG121 at checkout, you receive a 47% discount, brings the price down to $1,170. And you're going to be getting $150 cash back when you complete our courses and quizzes. That means your membership is going to only cost $1,020 for the whole year. You're going to get 2 small private study group sessions and that money back guarantee plus an additional $500. So you'll pay $1,170. If you don't make $1,170 back at least once, going through the courses, quizzes, and attending one study group, we'll give you back $1,670. So your money back plus an extra $500 for wasting your time. Let me show you what the platform is all about. Our chat room. Every day, you're going to get access to our chat room where the mods and I share our screen. We're live on the mic, calling out our trades in real time, providing market commentary from pre-market till after hours. The chat room opens at 7:30 a.m. and closes at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You're going to get all of our trade alerts from a group of professional traders that sports a collective win rate of just shy of 80%. We are fully transparent. There's a trading journal on our website. It tracks every buy and sell that our moderators make. It tracks all of our take profits and our stop outs. This way you can see if you follow the alerts, how would you be performing if you were taking profit when we were based on your own position sizing, okay? That's why it's there for you guys to see how you would be doing. You also get 2 small private study group sessions as part of the TTG fam. I told you about that to help speed up your learning curve. You get Benzinga Pro's real-time news feed, live breaking up to the second news alerts directly inside of chat. No more relying on delayed news. The speed of which you get your news matters. That's our Benzinga news feed. Guys, everything I'm showing you right now is included for the 1170. Listen, to be fair, there are other things inside of True Trading Group that do cost money, like Trader Palooza, which is an 11-hour-long, all-day virtual trading workshop that we're going to be hosting on May 21st. We host 4 of these a year. It's 11 one-hour workshops hosted by the moderators covering a variety of different trading topics, okay? We do have other things that you can pay for in True Trading Group, but your annual membership for $1170, all of our courses And all of our tools are included with that membership. You don't have to pay $1 extra for anything I'm showing you. So you got your bindings and newsfeed. TradingView's charting software, one of the most commonly used charting softwares by active traders, included with your membership free. The Trade Ideas Scanner. Always make sure you're focused on the best stocks during the day. What stocks make new highs, new lows, have a surge in volume. There for you. Okay? Free with your membership. Our simulator. I talked to you about this at the beginning of the stream. Use it. Trade stocks and options with fake money, but with real-time data. Prove you can make money on the sim before you risk your hard-earned cash. Free with your membership. Our own scanner that has the same functionality as FinViz Elite, but also lets you scan for crypto. Dark pool data, unusual options activity. Stuff used to only be available to professionals, now at the fingertips of the TTG fam. Guys, we will show you how to use all these tools. Do not be intimidated by these tools. This is how you make better informed decisions. We will show you how to use these tools. A full trading journal. Now, this journal actually tracks your own trading and gives you data and statistics on your trading so we can figure out maybe what you're doing wrong so we know what to improve on. You also have a social sentiment scanner. The social sentiment scanner, okay, will track Reddit, StockTwits, and Twitter and tell you what stocks are being mentioned the most on those platforms. This way you can stay ahead of the crowd. Our daily watch list and game plan. Every day, the mods at your trading group post their watch list, and we'll show you what stocks we're focusing on and how we intend on trading them through our game plan. Analyst ratings. You can get unlimited reports on any stock you are interested in that will show you how many analysts have a buy, sell, or hold rating on the stock. And then our courses. The courses are a simplified yet expanded upon version of what I learned that I worked at the fund in New York. Beginner and foundation courses, advanced courses, options, swing trading, trader psychology, crypto, you name it, we got it. Okay, there are no VIP or pro courses that cost more money. There's no upsells for new courses. Okay, every course is included when you pay the $11.70. Then there's a video library that's over 200 hours of additional educational video content. These are workshops and webinars we've conducted with our family, covering a variety of topics like how to trade while working a full-time job, how to resist FOMO, how to grow a small account. All this stuff is available for you on the TTG website in the video library. And then when you're a full-time member, you can attend these workshops live. It's time you guys invested in something real, folks. Something that can actually help you reach your goals. I can't promise you millions of dollars. I can't promise you a mansion and Lamborghinis, but I can promise you a real chance at success. As long as you're willing to put in some effort, I can promise you I'll give you all of your money back plus an additional $500 if you fail to make that $11.70 membership fee back over the course of the year. I promise you that we genuinely care about your success, and the day you join True Trading Group is the day that our relationship begins. The ball is now in your court. You just have to go to ttgoffer.com and enter the coupon code TTG121. There's 14 spots left. At midnight tonight, the $150 cashback offer goes to $50, and that $11.70 price goes up. 14 spots left. If you have questions, 201-775-9702. Send a text, don't call, to that phone number at the bottom of your screen. And if you are still unsure that the TTG family is right for you, we have a 7-day trial. Go to ttgthree.com. Enter your name, your email, and become part of the TTG family for a full 7 days. Weekends and holidays do not count. The market's closed on Friday. Don't worry about it. Join the trial today. Friday and the weekend do not count against your 7-day trial. Weekends and holidays do not count against your 7-day trial. So don't wait until Monday. Join now. There's also 3 sample courses you get with that free trial. Go through the courses maybe over the weekend when you have some free time. Prepare yourself even more so for trading on Monday. Thanks for joining me tonight, folks. You guys are the best. I love you all. Subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button. If you haven't done so, turn on your notifications. Make sure you never miss out on these live streams. I'll see you guys all in chat tomorrow. Later, guys.